Hey guys, let's review triangles. A triangle is a polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. Remember, a polygon is a figure with at least 3 sides. All sides are straight and it has to be a closed figure. To classify triangles, you can classify them by their angles and their sides. We are going to first review classifying by their angles. When we classify triangles by their angles, we are classifying them by their largest angle. So we have acute, right, and obtuse. On an acute triangles, all your angles are acute angles, making the largest angle acute. So if the largest angle is an acute angle, it's an acute triangle. On my right triangle, the largest angle in this triangle is a right angle, making it a right triangle. Obtuse. In this obtuse triangle, our largest angle is obtuse, making it an obtuse triangle. We can also classify triangles by their sides. We have scalene, isosceles, and equilateral triangles. On a scalene triangle, none of my sides are equal, none of my angles are equal. If I look at my picture, there's little tick marks on my sides and my angles. Since there are 3 different marks, so 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, this shows that all these side lengths are different measurements. Same thing with my angles. Since none of these are the same number of lines in the angles, none of those angles are the same measurement. Isosceles triangles. On an isosceles triangle, at least 2 of the sides are equal and 2 of the angles are equal. It's really important to remember that at least 2 equal sides are equal. This at least part will come into play later. Looking at my picture, 2 of my sides have 1 mark while the other one has 2. This shows that these 2 sides are the same length. Same thing with these 2 angles. These 2 angles have 1 line while this angle has 2 lines. This just shows that these 2 angles have the same degree measurement. An equilateral triangle. In an equilateral triangle, all my sides are equal and all my angles are equal. Each of my sides have 1 mark. Each of my angles have 1 mark. So all my sides and angles are equal. Since equilateral triangles have 3 equal sides and 3 equal angles, they are also an isosceles triangle because they have at least 2 equal sides and angles. Remember, isosceles has to have at least, meaning it can have more. An equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides. That's at least 2. So an equilateral triangle is also an isosceles triangle. You can also put both side and angle classifications together. We have by my sides up here and classification by angles on the side. On a scalene triangle, you can have a right scalene triangle, an acute scalene triangle, and an obtuse scalene triangle. On isosceles, you can have a right isosceles triangle, an acute isosceles triangle, and an obtuse isosceles triangle. On an equilateral triangle, you can only have acute angles. If all my sides and angles have to be equal to be an equilateral triangle, you can only have acute angles. If you had 2 right angles, you would be at more than 180 degrees. A triangle their angles can only add up to 180 degrees. So if I had 2 right angles, I'm already at 180 degrees and I have to have 3 of them. Same thing with an obtuse triangle. Obtuse angles are larger than 90 degrees. If I had 2 angles that were 90 degrees, larger than 90 degrees, I would be at more than 180 degrees. Remember, we classify triangles by their angles by looking at their largest angle measurement. I'm going to hold on the screen for just a little bit longer because this chart will come in really handy on some of those questions you have to answer today. We miss y'all so very much. If y'all have any questions, please let us know.